Welcome to your daily dose of Dani. I am Dani Rocco and breaking your generational chains. So I am a big believer that through centuries, there are things that are genetically coded within us. Not just our hair and our eye color and, health issues and things like that, and our skin and our height, but there are habits and mindsets and even, I don't want to say like curses because I don't believe in curses, but there are patterns that are sent down through generation to generation. That's why like in biblical times, the names were so important, right? And if you listen to stories, and whether you believe in the Bible or you believe in something else, these stories are given to us as learning, but that's a whole other thing. Learning tools, but that's different. That's not what I want to talk about. So there's a lot of conversations that I have myself and I have with my good friends and I have with my clients of, why am I stuck? Why? I can see it, but what I'm seeing and feeling is like right behind this wall or this brick. And you've kind of heard me talk about this before. And, these evolution pieces that we make emotionally and spiritually are kind of cut, you're chopping away at this big boulder where your abundance and greatness lives behind. And yesterday I had a crappy day and I worked really hard all day to get out of my crap. Some of it was, I'll tell you what, I'll just explain it. So my son, Jacob is my oldest son. He's the one I had at 16. So this is where it all comes together. I had him at 16. He is my Marine veteran. There's the short end of the story. When I had him, I made choices at that time that were based out of fear, that were based out of what I thought was the right thing to do. You're pregnant, you get married, you have a family, you get a job, you do all of these things. So my mindset was already set. Now, genetically in my heritage, I come from severe fighter, severe loyalty to the death, and what is the word I'm looking for? Grudge holders. And like, if you do me wrong, you're dead to me completely, whether you are family or not, blood or not. So genetically, I have all of these traits, right? And then I have this instance in my life. Tell me if this is resonating with you. Put it in your own words. You don't have to be 16 and pregnant. Put it in your own, environment and situation, that you make these choices based on not a good place, right? And then behind you, subconsciously, you have all this genetic coding that's going on. So yesterday, I had this conversation. Jake was in an accident. He was hit by a car, not his fault, all of this. And the VA is just whatever the VA. And my mama bear, I was so pissed off and protective of my son. I could feel that the emotions that I were feeling had nothing to do with the actual situation that I was in, the conversation that I was in. But man, I was on fire. I was, if I was red, could be a color, I was red. I was so mad. And I was like, why am I getting so mad about this? Yeah, it's unjust. Yeah, it's not right. But it shouldn't be causing me this much like pain and suffering. Like I was in tears. I was on the floor praying to God in tears, like crocodile tears. And then as I went through and my day, and I prayed and I, meditated, and meditation is more of like a prayer kind of for me. And I became into myself and I asked for clarity through all of this, I realized that all of that genetic coding from my past, and then the decisions I made around Jacob from the very beginning set me off on this emotional tangent yesterday. Like, I was mad at my husband from a comment he made. I'm like, oh, that had like, it was just, do you know what I'm talking about when you spin and you're like, I should not be spinning this much, and now I'm rattling on about this situation. So I had this, and then things were crapping. Like, I dropped my phone, totally shattered. I had to go get a new one. Like, just, that was when I was in the midst of my crap. And last night, before I go to bed, I pray. I pray for clarity, I pray for guidance, all of these different things. And I was up all night with, to me, God was like speaking to me heavily. And what I came out with was, if you want to break these genetic codes that are in you that have made you have habits and mindsets and one leads into another, which leads into another. If you want to get past that rock, you have to start all the way back, way back. For every instance that you have a thought that is not the one that you want, you did not react the right way, or you are in a situation that you feel you have zero control over, but that's it. Whether it's your relationship sucks, whether your sex life sucks, whether your finances suck, whether your job, whatever it is, there's a time and a purpose and a reason you are in that place, and has nothing to do with that moment that you were in. Nothing. It goes way farther back in your time, even maybe before your time, but you can only pick away at the ones that come to you. So when you're in that moment, sorry about this tangent and rant, but I felt you needed a story to go along with where my mind was to understand it better, is if every of those times, whatever comes to your mind, that might be the reason why, you need to start using like the tools and the resources and the people around you to break it. And that is how you break generational change within you to create and manifest the future that you want. But if you sit in your crap and just accept it, that is where you will be, in your crap for the rest of your life. And later today, we're going to have part 2 of Devoted to a Soldier. Join our table with some amazing people. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So click the Zoom link. It's in this description. And you can join us live. And I figured out what I did wrong while nobody could ask questions, because I had muted everybody and I thought I unmuted you and I didn't. So we're going to not have that problem again, so you could actually interact. And I apologize for my not knowing so much. But I will see you guys tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Whoop! And I will see you on the other side.